They tried to destroy my career, without realizing I was the one signing their paychecks. Stay with me, because what started as betrayal turned into the quietest power move of my life. My name is Melissa Tran. Most people in business call me Mel. Officially, I'm the newly appointed Chief Strategy Officer at Everlin Dynamics, a fast-growing biotech company in Seattle. What my family doesn't know is this. 2 months ago, I quietly became the majority owner. I bought control through a private trust, spread across several discrete transactions. No headlines. No rumors. No one traced it back to me. Not even my own parents. The story really started 18 years ago, when I was a scholarship student studying biomedical engineering, working every spare hour I could find. I balanced lab shifts, tutoring, and coding gigs just to survive. My younger brother, Ryan, had a very different life. Our parents paid for everything. He traveled. He partied. He posted every luxury moment online. And still, at family dinners, he was the one they worried about. Ryan needs more support, Mom always said. You've always been so independent, Mel. Independent was just another word for invisible. By the time I turned 30, I had quietly built and sold 2 biotech startups. I stayed off press releases, pushed profits through holding companies, and kept my name out of public view on purpose. I had learned early that money changes how people treat you. My parents admired Ryan's safe corporate sales job and dismissed my work as some risky experiment. You should ask your brother for advice, Mom loved to say. He understands real business. So I let them believe I needed help. While they were offering career tips, I was buying a company. Everlin Dynamics had been undervalued, but full of potential. I joined as a senior strategist, worked quietly for a year, and built control behind the scenes through a network of entities and trusts. When the board promoted me to CSO, they thought they were rewarding a loyal executive. They didn't realize they were giving a seat to the owner. At our next family dinner, Ryan smirked across the table. Nice promotion, he said. Hope you're not in over your head. Corporate leadership isn't the same as science projects. Mom quickly jumped in. Maybe Ryan can mentor you. He's managed teams for years. I smiled. If only you knew, I thought. But Ryan wasn't satisfied with jokes. My promotion shattered the family hierarchy. He had always been the dependable one. I was supposed to stay in the background. A week later, he started showing up at my office for casual lunches with department heads. From my window, I watched him laugh with senior staff, subtly fishing for doubts about my leadership. Then the anonymous HR complaints appeared. Fake claims. Invented concerns. Accusations about my credentials. All of them false, but carefully designed to hurt. When I confronted him, he put on a concerned smile. I'm just worried about you, he said. You know how companies rush to promote women for diversity optics. I'd hate for you to crash in public. I let him continue. I wanted to see how far he would go. Yesterday, I got my answer. A sealed envelope was delivered directly to the board. Inside was a polished, professional-looking dossier filled with forged bank records, altered emails, and a timeline painting me as a criminal. Embezzlement. Insider trading. Falsified reports. A perfectly manufactured scandal. The board immediately scheduled an emergency meeting for Friday morning. That night at dinner, Ryan could barely hide his excitement. The board wants me there tomorrow, he announced. Sounds like there's going to be a big change at the top. My parents beamed. Not one of them asked why I hadn't been invited to a meeting about my own role. What they don't know is that I spent the entire night preparing my own file. Every manipulation. Every anonymous tip. Every false report. Every quiet attempt to undermine me. And this time, I included one detail no one could ignore. The real ownership structure of Everlin Dynamics. I should be angry. I should be crushed that my own brother tried to erase my career, and that my parents were ready to watch. Instead, sitting alone in my home office, surrounded by forged documents and fake evidence, I feel calm. Ryan gave me something rare. A clean stage. A moment to end years of being underestimated. The board meeting is set for 9 a.m. My family is arriving to watch me fall. They're about to learn who actually owns the table. I arrived early on Friday morning. At 8:45, Ryan walked into the lobby in his sharpest suit. My parents followed close behind, dressed for a victory they didn't earn. "Is the board ready for us?" Ryan asked the front desk, already smiling. From my office upstairs, I watched them disappear into the executive conference room. At exactly 9 o'clock, I stood, took one steady breath, and walked down the hall. When I entered, the board chair was speaking. "These allegations against Miss Tran are extremely serious." "Sorry I'm late," I said pleasantly, taking my seat. Ryan's head snapped up. For the first time, his smile faltered. "Mel, this is a closed session. You weren't invited." I folded my hands calmly. Actually, I was. It's hard to hold a board meeting without the owner. The room went silent. Ryan's face drained of color. Mom blinked. Dad stared at the table. "What are you talking about?" Ryan snapped. "This is a public company." "It was," I said gently, "until 2 months ago." I nodded to my assistant. She handed folders around the table. Everlin Dynamics was acquired by Tran Strategic Holdings. And I own it. Pages flipped. Eyes widened. The truth landed all at once. "That's impossible," Ryan whispered. "You can't afford this. You're just a lab geek. Just a coder. Just not leadership material." I finished for him with a small smile. Then I nodded again. "Please play the recordings." His voice filled the room. "She's not leadership material. Might want to look closer at her finances. She's going to crash." Every whisper, every setup, every lie. "And this," I said, holding up his sealed envelope, "is forged evidence meant to destroy my career." Ryan's shoulders collapsed. "I was protecting the company," he muttered. "No," I said quietly. "You were protecting your ego." Mom finally spoke. "You wouldn't ruin your own brother's life." I met her eyes. "Like he tried to ruin mine. Like you came here to watch it happen." I turned to the board. "All allegations against me are false. What is real is Mr. Ryan Tran's attempt to manipulate staff, fabricate financial misconduct, and sabotage company leadership." The chair cleared his throat. "What would you like us to do, Ms. Tran?" "3 things," I said calmly. "First, formally dismiss every claim against me. Second, send a full report of Ryan's actions to his employer. Third, ban Ryan and my parents from company property effective immediately." Ryan's voice broke. "You'll destroy my career." "No," I replied. "Your actions already did." Then I placed one final folder on the table. My first company sold for $50 million. My second for 180. My parents stared at the numbers. I stayed quiet because I wanted to know who would stand by me when I had nothing. "You didn't." Ryan looked up, barely breathing. "You're firing me?" "No," I said softly. "You fired yourself." I stood. "This meeting is adjourned. Security will escort you out." At the door, Ryan stopped me. "I was jealous," he whispered. "Can we fix this?" I turned once. "When you thought I was failing, you pushed me down. When I was succeeding, I stayed quiet so you wouldn't feel small. That's the difference." In the weeks that followed, Ryan lost his job. The evidence spoke louder than any rumor. 3 months later, he came to my office. No suit, no confidence, just a plain envelope. "I'm not staying," he said. "These are passwords, contacts, everything I used while trying to hurt you. I'm owning it, publicly." "Why now?" I asked. "Because you were right," he said quietly. "You built something real." I didn't. He turned to leave. "Send me your resume in a year," I said. He froze. "Not for leadership. But if you're serious about starting the right way, we hire from the ground up." A single tear slipped down his face. He nodded and walked out. 6 months later, the company is thriving. Hundreds of new jobs. Real products. Real impact. My parents still message when it suits them. I keep my distance. The approval I chased my whole life. I don't need it anymore. Some nights, I sit in my office and watch the Seattle skyline fade into the mountains. And I think about how strange success is. It isn't loud. It doesn't need revenge speeches. Sometimes it's just quiet, earned, undeniable. If you've ever been the one in the corner, working, waiting, building, keep going. Let your results say what your pain never could. So tell me, what would you have done in my place?